theme. There's like a backdrop. It's
It's
like we're just doing things till Lightfall drops.
right, and it's
Not to put words in your mouth, but yeah.
No. That's actually like that's the perfect place to put it. This is a placeholder for we're getting placeholder seasons for Lightfall.
All right, what's going on, y'all? This is a little bit of post-production Sky that you're hearing right now. What we wanted to do, lol, who's we? When I wanted to do this season, I really had planned on doing kind of an in-depth breakdown, first impressions, what happened the first week of content, story-wise, the new dungeon, so on and so forth. But I actually opted out of doing that this time around. I still want to do an end-of-season recap. But this time I just decided that, I just rather than kind of come with something that was like super over the top scripted, I wanted to just offer like a really kind of authentic insight into some of the conversations I have with friends that I game with. I've had some not so nice comments, and some people seem to think that, I just exist in an echo chamber of just people who always agree with me, and that's not the case. And I think the snippet of the conversation that you're about to hear, one, not only highlights kind of base first impressions of how folks are authentically receiving, or in this case received, the beginning of the season, but then also to kind of hear from some folks who I've been gaming with for a little while now, and the fact that like there are things that we align on and things that we don't align on, and what actually keeps us coming back to the game ultimately is our friendship and what we're gaining through just like having fun with each other. So yes, friendship is the true end game. So that's the end of my intro for this video. The rest of the audio is just going to play out. This is our conversation. Again, I do have their full consent, full and informed consent, so they do know that I'm putting this on here. And yeah, just an insight into the conversations that we're having as we're gaming, but then also just really thinking about how the first few things of the season in terms of like narrative, in terms of gameplay loop, etc., landed, and what folks, in this case, my two friends DeeDee as well as T-shirt, were just kind of feeling. So I hope that you enjoy the conversation, and ultimately hope that you join in the comment section. If you see, I'm very active in the comments. I read people's comments. As long as you're not being a jerk, I'm down to have conversations. And so I'd love to know what you thought. What are your initial first impressions? Again, we're still within the first weekly reset, right? So would love to know what are your thoughts on season of the Seraph and how things are going thus far.
It's like they burned out on creativity, so they're just feeding us seasons until Lightfall. Like they put it all into Lightfall, and Lightfall better be good, because if I get 3 bad seasons, I paid for Lightfall, so I'm gonna play it. And I grind it out on Destiny. So it's like I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna complain the entire time. Yes, I am. I'm gonna complain every day. I sure will.
Every time.
But it's like, if this is the standard bearer for the next seasons to come until Lightfall, then Lightfall better be good. Like Lightfall better. Paid 7 better come out or something. I better like. I better get like 3 free you gotta give me something, you gotta show me something, because right now, as a very simple, as someone who is extremely simple, I'm not impressed at all. I'm very what's the term I'm looking for? This is deflated.
Deflated, yeah.
Very deflated. I'm excited to play with my friends, and that's the selling point, is my friends play this game. So it's like, I mean, we can talk bad about this game together, but like I don't want to talk bad about this.
You want to enjoy the game.
Yes, I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of talking bad about Destiny. I want to be excited like I was when Witch Queen first came out, and how angry I was because I couldn't beat Savathun for a month, and then when I did, I had to help other people beat Savathun. And now I've beaten Savathun 4 times, and I don't want to see her anymore. Like I want to feel like, okay, I did this so many times, and it was so difficult. I can't see myself doing it again. But if my friends ask me for my help, I'm gonna go in there and do it because it's enjoyable.
But Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, but the incentive you're saying shifts from like a game based incentive to I'm with friends, I'm with people I like, right? So it's worth like utilizing this time versus like this is a game I enjoy, so it's worth utilizing my time. Again, not trying to put
Like,
words in your mouth,
no,
but
no, no. You're no, you're fine. It's like my I'm complaining and my friends are complaining, but we play the game together, so we gonna complain together. Like that's as you can see, we complained about the submachine gun. We complained about. It's interesting because you and I playing this complained about so much together, and we haven't really praised anything. Like there's no. We found 3 things to complain about, and I haven't found one thing where I'm like, oh my god, like this is. Yeah, this is the season, right? And I'm not seeing it.
and
Granted, this is day 1, and like this is the first season, so like I'm trying to be very like generous, but at the same
you
time,
don't have to be generous because that's what I'm asking the two of you for is it's like unadulterated, like out of the box, Christmas Day out of the box. This is your authentic reaction.
right?
Because I
And
think
that's
that
why
matters because it's like also to the point. And DeeDee, I want to kind of also I want you to say a little bit more about what you were saying, but it's just like
Oh, of
I
course.
think it's the point that like we can be in this friend group, right? We can be in this like group of folks who like enjoy the game and still see the game in like drastically different ways, right? And it's all valid. And we can still come together and be like, we're cool, and that's why we enjoy playing together, but also we want the game to be enjoyable too.
Yeah. Like, what was it? When this shit first came out, and all the seasons that preceded it, or the DLCs that preceded it before they went to the seasonal model. I didn't enjoy Warmind. I didn't enjoy the shit before it. I barely enjoyed Destiny 2 as a whole before they got their shit together and, hit us with Forsaken. And I don't even remember the seasons after that. They weren't really anything to write home about, especially with Splicer. I enjoyed the weapons and maybe Mithrax, but that's about it. Really wasn't anything to write home about. And then Witch Queen happens. I'm like, yo, this shit is fantastic. And then you give me, what was the season after? What was like the first season after Witchcraft? I don't even Witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
Whatever it is.
think
It was Witch Queen, and then
I think it was the season of the. It wasn't Haunted. It was the season of. I'm trying to. I remember because when Witch Queen came out, like I was playing heavily.
no, wasn't
And
it Haunted? Because it's typically 3 seasons to a DLC.
it was because it was Splicer, and then after Splicer, it was Haunted.
Yeah, Splicer, Haunted, and then where we're at right now with
It was Plunder after
Plunder.
Yeah.
Haunted. Yes.
Okay. So Splicer wasn't really anything to write home about. And then they hit me with 2 fantastic story-driven seasons in a row with Haunted and Plunder. And then they give me this shit. Like, yeah, it's day 1, but if this is like a taste of things to come, it's gonna be the reason why I took off last time. Because Warmind, the other Warmind Citric thing that happened where we had to where we learned the story of fucking Fellwinter, and it's like I don't care about that shit. Like it's fucking boring.
You want to be able to have like the big chunks of like story and gameplay versus kind of
just make the grind worth it. That's all I want. Make the grind worth it. And if this is what you're telling me that I'm gonna have to deal with for 2 months, I don't even want to progress the fucking story. Like I'm good on that. I'll just do pinnacles and shit. Like I really don't care. It's like bring on fucking Lightfall. it's probably gonna get to that point because I really do not care about this story. If I do it, it's just gonna be the pastime, and if it helps me get pinnacles faster, cool. It's fucking boring, man. And not to discredit whatever Bungie and whoever's helping them is doing. They're doing the best they can with what they got. I will give them that much.
My thing is, like, and not to cut you off, but my thing is, because I just remembered when Aramis came out, when like the Aramis storyline started, one thing about Bungie is they can write a story, right? But they can't make me play it. Like the lore is amazing, but like the gameplay is the time that they put in the lore is it feels, I'm not gonna say that they don't, but it just feels like the time that they put in the lore, they don't put in the gameplay. Like I understand that you're doing new things like skill-based matchmaking and a new competitive rank system, and that's cool. That's I can appreciate that. But like that's it. Like like that's and I understand like these like certain things take time, but like I shouldn't have to wait for an update or a patch for the game to be good, and that's where I get so upset, because like the way that gaming is now, you'll release not saying that this season per se is half done, but like you'll release something that just feels not done, or like I'm getting blue balls because like I know what you can do, I've seen what you can do, and it's just like
it's not meeting the threshold that you like. Once you've hit a certain mark in terms of like what you like, in this case a game company has produced, that you're saying your expectation then becomes, okay, if you can hit that, if you can, you know, or put in like in terms of schooling, right? If like you have a kid and like your kid gets an A, it's like, okay, now my expectation is that since you showed me you can get an A, you should be able to get A's repeatedly.
It's not even that you should be able to get A's repeatedly, because you've gotten A's repeatedly. I've seen you put out banger, and yes, I'm saying banger seasons, banger storylines. I've seen you do it just consecutively. So it's like you forced my hand, and you said, listen, T, we can make this really great game. Here it is. And I'm like, all right, I believe you. It's like it's like being in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been cheating on me this whole time, and now you've been showing me, oh, be faithful. I can be a good woman. I can be a good man. I can be a good partner. And it's like, all right, show me. And now all of a sudden that I've seen you make these changes, and now you're just like, oh nah, that was it. Like, that's all I got for you. And it's deflating, because like this game has stood the test of time somehow. It's been around for years somehow. And it's just like, I've seen y'all make so much. It makes me so angry, because this game, I grew up with this game. I was there for D1, and I got excited for D2, and it's like, I've seen what y'all can do. Y'all just don't want to do it, and it's aggravating.
And if I could clarify, and then I have a question that I'm curious about for both of you all. So again, not wanting to put words in your mouth, but you're saying less of it like, okay, it's not the situation of like the person has gotten A, you know, it's not that metaphor, but it's or analogy, but it's more so like you were doing something in a relationship and it started to pay off, and then you're just feeling like they're not doing the effort anymore. It's like they got some results, it was cool, it was like, ooh, good job, but then they're just not being consistent with that effort.
Right.
Year round.
Like, it really don't take much. And not saying that I can do the job of a developer, not saying that I can work for a gaming company and I have good ideas, but like I wouldn't be able to execute. And I understand that. But it's like, if you're telling me that you can put out 2-3 good seasons in a row, I'm not saying you gotta drop bangers all the time, because again, like I'm very opinionated. what I think is good, someone else might not think is. I mean, what I think is a banger, someone else might not think it's a banger. But I know y'all can make good seasons all year round. Like, it don't gotta be 10, but you can put out an 8. You can put out a 7. And right now, this doesn't feel like a 7. This feels like this is what this season is gonna be, and like the only thing I have to look forward to is Grandmaster, is raids, is
the end game. Yeah.
right. But I have to grind for that, which makes this aggravating because this isn't fun. Like, I'm shooting a giant shrieker. But I've done this before. I've fought the Eye of Sabathun before. I've done this. Like, and I'm not saying you gotta make up a whole new race or you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You don't, it doesn't have to be like super complicated. It can be simple because you've done it. I'm not asking for anything that hasn't been done before. Let me sum up what I'm saying. I'm not asking for anything that hasn't been done before by Bungie. I'm not asking for anything new. I'm just asking for consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
Yes, every season it's not going to be a 10. But don't drop a 10, 2 9s, and then hand me a 6. And then say, oh, we're going to fix it. No, because anything Witch Queen related, it wasn't like, oh yeah, we got to patch it and now it's great. No, it was good from jump. Everything was good from jump. And it's just like, I know you can do it because you've done it. The deep sight resonance thing is great. It's amazing. And for
when
some
it works,
you know what I'm saying? And it's like you deliver on deep sight resonance. Not all the weapons are going to be good. Not all the perks are going to be good. But hey, you've given me a reason to grind out certain guns. And it's not the funnest thing in the world, but it's rewarding. And it's like I'm playing this heist battleground, which is really just Season of Splicer battleground. It's the same thing, except they had a synaptic spear. That was the only difference, is you could throw a spear at Sabathun.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's just
So with that, and I think that's actually a transition, kind of like the last question I think I have for both of you all, and just whatever your kind of like initial first answer that comes to mind is, right? Knowing all those pieces, wanting like the consistency out of the game, like still, and I do want to tease it out, right? Because they're and again, not putting words in either of you all's mouth, but you all are both kind of articulating that there's still value in like friendship is the true end game, right? Like, as corny as that is, it's like playing with friends still has a value, whether it's like this, Call of Duty, Among Us, even though no one plays Among Us, right? Like, there's still a value in like playing with friends, right? And that's just going to be a universal concept, if I can say that, right? That like playing with people you enjoy playing with is whether it's Uno or whether it's Destiny, right? You're going to have some degree of fun, but like you all are like asking for consistency. And so I think along those lines, I think just like I'd be interested for both of y'all, like what is that one thing though? Like when you're talking about consistency, when you're talking about like what you feel lacking in the game that like friendship can't make up for, what is that one thing that like Bungie, get your shit together, this is the thing that you need to do to like really draw me in? Because like I agree with your statement of just like at the end of it, right? Again, I hate immediacy bias, but I'd love to like come back, you know, we're like 2 months into Lightfall and come back and then look at Witch Queen, right? And look at all the content and then really like give it a grading system. I think you will have to like take into account that like, yeah, the Witch Queen launch, top of the charts. You know, we're talking Beyonce singles, and then we're seeing where we are right now. It's, you know, we looking a little Maroon 5. You know, we it's different, right? So I would be curious, like, what is that like one thing for each of you that is like, this may not fix everything, but if Bungie did this, it definitely would shift things.
So I'm gonna use Witch Queen as the standard bearer because that's I to this day I rave about Witch Queen, right? I played the Witch Queen story solo on the edge of my seat, and if we were in the Neckbeard Discord, they'll tell you every day I logged in and it didn't matter who was in there. It could have just been me. I streamed me to the Discord. I streamed me playing that game every day because I wanted to beat it, and I was going to beat it, and nothing was going to stop me, right? And when I was grinding and I was doing all the challenges and stuff, it didn't feel stale. Like when we were on the moon trying to do the seasonal challenge, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I could see it. It got stale real quick. Like, and mind you, we weren't on collectively. We weren't on the moon long, but it's like Destiny does this thing where, like, when they come out with new like seasons and new stuff like that, they try to force you to go back to the old stuff. Like nobody is having fun on the moon. Nobody is having fun on the moon. If you see a Guardian on the moon, they're grinding. Like they're not there's no new mission is on the moon. And it's like trying to repurpose the moon is cool, but I'm not having fun. And it's just like so to clearly to give a clear answer to your question, I just don't I need it to not feel stale. I need it to not feel repetitive. I need something new. You know, let me, I don't know, like all of a sudden, like I can fight with my spaceship in space. Like they come in and like we ain't got time to wait for transmat. We finna shoot them now. Like not saying like but like something. Give me something. It don't gotta be a brand new game. You don't have to make it a brand new game, but like give me something new. Give me something that doesn't feel stale, because right now it just feels like grinding. And to reference your other video when you were talking about bounty, why you shouldn't what's the term, bounty
prep.
Bounty prep, yes, why you should bounty prep, because you know the burnout is there, and you're absolutely right. But even without bounty prepping, I'm tired. I'm tired. Like I've never like, yeah, we crack jokes, and this is where the friendship comes in. We're like, yeah, we're cracking jokes, and you know, we're ragging on each other, but like we can't do that for an entire however long we're on the game.
3 months. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna. We can't talk about DeeDee the entire time. The jokes are gonna like, it's gonna feel forced at some point. Like
yeah,
we're gonna feel like we're making fun of DeeDee to stay in the game, and it's just like, that's
motherfucker.
LOL. Our only reason for coming together as a friend group is to make fun of DeeDee.
We shouldn't be playing Destiny 2 to make
fun of DeeDee.
Thank you for taking my feelings into account, you motherfuckers.
LOL.
But I get your point.
What? Because what I'd say, and yeah, DA, I want to hear from you, and then we can kind of, you know, I know folks are trying to get off for tonight, but
see, that's the funny thing. I'm not even sleepy anymore talking about this. I'm still gonna do other shit, but nah, this was like beautiful getting into this, because it's like I have not felt this way about Destiny in quite some time, and I'm very mad that it always involves the fucking war mine.
LOL. But what I was gonna say, and potentially a transition point, is I think T had to go take care of something, but yeah, I think for me, when I think of like, and I definitely agree of like, as much as I want to find like the good parts of the content, right? Because I feel like so many people are just negative, and again, as I said to you all, I just can't exist in that space. I can definitely be critical where it's time to be critical, but if you're always negative, it's like the boy who cries wolf. When you actually have something substantive, like substantial to say, it doesn't hit because you were being negative the whole time. And so for me, it's like I'm always searching for that balance. And I think for me, it's like, I think the critique is valid, right? Of like innovative, right? Because maybe this is super small. And again, I don't want to take away from your thing, but like for me, a very small, I think there's a lot of innovation points we could point to for Destiny, but something that was actually super innovative to me, but was super small, was the finishing moves. I don't know if you remember, but we loaded in. If I remember correctly, we had very little like promo around it, right? But I believe it was Forsaken, if I'm correct. I may be incorrect, but it was around that time.
No, Forsaken introduced the finishing move. Yeah,
Forsaken, we're getting, not only was it Forsaken and all that happened with that storyline, we're getting introduced to the pyramids, we're getting introduced a little bit deeper into Erisborn's storyline. So all these things were connected. And then, like, in terms of, you know, the narrative story, but then in terms of the gameplay, there's a couple things that happen right in the gameplay, but for me, that little thing that, like, we were doing the intro mission and they're just like, press interact to finish. I'm like, what? Finish what? What are you talking about finish? But it was just the fact that, like, this new thing that you could do with enemies, you could, like, shoot enemies, you can blow them up, you can use your super, but now you could, like, finish them, right? Which added a new dimension of how you interacted with the game. A small dimension, but it was like a new way to interact with the game, right? Because then it was like flair, because there's different types of finisher moves that you could use. For maybe one that was like a mini Nova Bomb that you use for a Warlock, or one that was like a knives kick them in the face in the air for your hunter, things like that. So for me, it's just like, I think about those things. Obviously, I think you could probably point to other things that are, you know, quote unquote more innovative, but for me, that was interesting in terms of, like, it was that small thing that shifted the way we think about the game. Because even like what T was saying, if we could fight with our ships, that just adds a new dimension to the game that we haven't been able to engage with in a while, or I mean in all, really, right? So I just add that point to kind of connect it to the fact that it's like, I do agree that, like, the small innovative pushes do matter.
Yeah, because at this point, this game is about as fun as, you know, doing a gummy ship encounter in Kingdom Hearts 3.
First of all, there's no Kingdom Hearts slander. No, I agree.
Look, as someone who loves Kingdom Hearts 2 to this day, and I will die on the hill that it is one of the best sequels ever made, Kingdom Hearts 3 was a fucking
it was a drag.
Like, am I still going to show up for Kingdom Hearts 4? Hell yeah, because I'm showing up for any goddamn game where Unreal Engine 5 gets to like truly shine. But yeah, just no. Just no.
Just no.
It was just so bad.
But what would you say that one thing is for you? That one thing that could shift it?
That's the thing. I don't even know anymore, because I feel like games like this and plenty of others have been giving so many chances to fix their shit. I don't know if it's even fixable. I guess I'll just know what that one thing is when it happens. But right now, I couldn't even tell you, to be quite honest.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah. It's just like, I will know when it happens.
I'll know it when I see it.
Exactly. And this season, I ain't seeing shit. Like, I'm having more fun getting rid of my Titan, which I said I wasn't gonna do. But then I remember, it's like, I just am not having fun with Titans anymore. It's like it was fun for a split second. Like, I'm finding more fun in this, like getting rid of a fucking character, than the season right now.
Sorry, I had to take care of something.
Like, I'm about ready to beat off to Judge Mathis. That's how I feel about this game.
Whoa, LOL.
Mathis is what I come back to.
Is literally we come back to. No, but we're just finished up because I wanted to let y'all go for the night. But I appreciate the conversation, because, you know, this is what I try and do with the channel. This is what I try and do with, like, the community I'm trying to build. It's just like, you know, I think, you know, no two people are coming from the same lived experience, right? And the beauty of a game like this, and the reason why I even got into a game like this 6.5 years ago, was because they're like feeling like an outsider, but there's like this cool game that I could play with other people and like make friends and like actually kind of engage with people about like nerdy stuff, and being in a space where like I enjoy this game and I've dedicated way too much money over the years of this
Agreed.
game in time. But it's the fact that I've gotten something out of it. I've gotten like, you know, like folks like you who like, you know, start off as strangers and now like folks who I'm like cool with, right? Out of nowhere because of this game. And if you lose the game, hopefully those bonds still stay, right? And that
Oh,
they're
of
authentic
course.
bonds. But like, you know, I think we'd all want the game to succeed, right? If this is going to be a live service game, if this game is supposed to, you know, they got $3.6 billion from Sony, right? If this game is supposed to succeed, kind of like what I was saying when you kind of popped off, T, is it's like, I want to be able to balance the good with the bad. I want to be able to have the moments where we're enjoying the content, the story, all those things. But also, to your point, we can't just sit here and make jokes about each other to sustain a season of content, right? Part of that, the content has to come from the game. And yeah, I don't know. I think what you all have offered are like really tangible things, because like for me, it's just like I'm gonna give Bungie its credit where it's due. Also, hey, you fucking up. It's like, you know, it's got to get better. So I don't know. Maybe they are reserving capacity for Lightfall, and that's what we've been feeling the past couple months. Maybe it's not, but you know, time will tell. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and view, whether it was for a couple minutes or whether it was for the full time. It means a lot. So please sound off in the comment section for any thoughts you have or responses to the themes and topics that we brought up in the conversation today. I'm also going to leave both DeeDee and T's information in the comment section below. So please definitely support them, follow them. T is an artist. DeeDee is a writer and producer. So again, people in the community are doing great things outside of just, you know, being good at the game. So please go support them. And yeah, definitely let us know what you think in the comments.